calling her a little hoe while she sleeps because she drapes herself on him. Is that genuinely in the text, or is that just some fever dream from Goodreads?
Who cares where it came from? It's gold. Picture it, she's all traumatized, hates touch, but bam, sleepy time rolls around, and she's practically doing the tango on this MMA method. Hilarious.
It's indicative of inconsistent characterization, not humor. Welcome back to Heartbook Radio, the show that dissects romance novels like a frog in biology class, only with more yelling. I'm Dr. Eleanor Vance.
And I'm Big Sal DeMarco, the guy who actually knows how fun with a book, instead of sticking it under a microscope. Today we're talking Caged by Better Matthews. And let me tell you, this book cures diabetes. It's a medical miracle.
Please, it does not cure diabetes. The author introduces the heroine, Maddie, as diabetic, a significant character detail involving potential vulnerability and daily management, and then proceeds to almost entirely ignore it for the remainder of the narrative. It's not a miracle, it's narrative negligence.
Negligence. It's efficiency. Why bog down a perfectly good story about a chick terrified of touch, shacking up with a dude nicknamed the King, who probably sweats testosterone with boring stuff like blood sugar? Priorities. This author gets it.
The author gets lazy. Perhaps let's discuss Maddie. Childhood trauma involving discovering a dead body leads to severe haphophobia, a legitimate psychological condition involving fear of touch. It's a compelling setup for a romance with a very physical alpha male like Hudson.
Yeah, compelling. Like my neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, who thinks the mailman is trying to steal her garden gnome. Maddie hates touch. This dude Hudson is basically a walking, talking furnace of muscles, and his giant meddling family just shoves them together. It's like a sitcom plot written by sadists. I love it.
The Kingston family's disregard for her clearly stated boundaries is problematic. It borders on coercive and the diabetes. It's mentioned early on, establishing a vulnerability. A daily reality for her, then, poof, gone, vanished. Did she just forget to take her insulin and miraculously survive? Did Hudson's magical abs cure her?
Maybe it was the power of love. Or maybe the author just hit delete on that chapter outline. Happens to the best of us. Besides, who needs diabetes when you've got a reformed Playboy MMA fighter who's apparently got, and I quote a reviewer here, BD, Big Deck Energy for the uninitiated.
Must we? Hudson, Kingston. The archetypal reformed rake. 6'4", inked muscles. Pierce description reads like a checklist from a romance trope generator. Reviewers swoon over his patience with Maddie, conveniently forgetting his alleged Playboy past. It's the Edward Cullen defense all over again, isn't it? Oh, he's dangerous, but he's gentle with her.
Hey, leave Edward out of this. Hudson's different. He's got a cage fighting background, not sparkly skin. And yeah, maybe he was a player, but he was a player in Boom. Whipped. It's classic, guys like that, they fall hard. Like betting on a long shot that suddenly comes in the final round. Plus, this family has a group chat. Can you imagine the memes in that thing? Probably roasting Maddie's weird touch thing behind her back.
Speculating about familial cyberbullying is hardly literary analysis. The core issue remains, is this book actually any good? Despite the glaring inconsistencies and reliance on tropes, the narrative structure itself seems questionable.
Questionable, the ending is like a knockout punch. In the first 30 seconds of the final round, reviewers said it perfectly. Villain shows up out of nowhere, spills the quick fight, bam, book over. It's like the author looked at the clock, realized rent was due, and just typed the end.
It speaks to a profound lack of narrative planning. Pacing is crucial. You build tension, develop the conflict, and provide a satisfying resolution. This sounds like narrative collapse. One reviewer literally said, bam, 11 minutes left, and he spilled the beans. Then they fought, bam, the book was over. I was so confused. That's not suspense, it's authorial panic.
But maybe it's artistic. Leaves you breathless. Like a Good Ride Hood, the spice level. People can't even agree. Some say 1.5. Chilies are barely a simmer. Melt your face off hot. What's the truth? We got a listener email, fake listener. Obviously, dear Sal and Doc, I read Caged and now I think my boyfriend can cure my gluten intolerance if he just loves me enough. Is this true? Signed, Confused in Cleveland.
Confused in Cleveland, that's absolutely not true, and please consult a gastroenterologist. Other listener, let's call him Bob, apparently emailed complaining about a cross-dressing joke and a fat joke. So, add potentially lazy writing to potentially offensive writing.
See, something for everyone. Look, the book's got diabetes thing is weird. Okay? Like forgetting your main character wears glasses halfway through in the ending. Yeah, it's rushed. But it's got heart. This big tough fighter being all gentle with the scared girl. It works. It's like, okay, if Hudson were a sandwich, right? He'd be one of those giant meatball subs. Messy, sauce everywhere, Structurally unsound, but damn, it hits the spot.
Structurally unsound indeed. If Hudson were a sandwich, he'd be an overpriced panini where the cheese hasn't melted properly, promising much but delivering lukewarm disappointment wrapped in grill marks. The potential for character depth is squandered by inconsistent writing, and a finale that feels less like a climax and more like tripping over the finish line.
So you didn't like it?
I found the premise intriguing, but the execution deeply flawed. The forgotten diabetes is almost unforgivable from a narrative standpoint. I give Cage 2 out of 5 abandoned plot threads.
Harsh. Real harsh. Me. I had fun. It was nuts. I give it 3/5 out of 5 questionable life choices made by fictional families. It kept me guessing, mostly about what the author forgot next.
Join us next week, if you dare, when we tackle a book that sounds utterly plausible. My landlord is a sentient alpaca, and he keeps eating my bonsai trees.
You've been listening to Heart Book Radio. We read the weird stuff so you don't have to. Unless you want to, then go nuts.